Welcome to the first episode of Main Street,
hosted by
Eric.
Maddie
and Sophie.
I'm a junior this year.
I'm also a junior.
But I'm a senior this year.
Oh, unk.
In this podcast, we'll be discussing everything in between educational and entertainment.
We'll bring you interviews with staff members and insight on how to survive school year and episodes where we just sit and chat and you can enjoy our faces.
Speaking of interviews, how about we interview some teachers about their plans for the upcoming school year?
I think we should.
I think that sounds great.
I think so too.
Miss Byers.
Hi, Eric.
Welcome to our set.
Thank you. I love your little setup here.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be on your podcast.
Thank you. So this is our Wrangler podcast called Main Street.
Very nice.
Rebranding, yes.
I love it.
See, we have our little.
Does he have a name?
Oh my god. Mikey.
Mikey.
Yeah,
excellent,
like the
excellent.
one
like
outside.
The
Yeah.
Mikey Jr.
Mikey Jr. Yeah.
Yep.
He's our guest star for today.
I love it.
Okay, so just a couple of questions today.
Okay, beautiful. Lay 'em on me.
All right. How's your summer?
My summer was excellent. I did a lot of different things. I went to Portugal, I moved, I went to a bunch of concerts, I went to a Shakespeare festival, which is very English teacher. I met my favorite composer, Alexandre Desplat, at the Hollywood Bowl, so very, very busy.
So how are you settling into this new school year?
I'm settling, it's great. We are almost done with our first novel. We read a bunch of short stories, already had a timed write, so we're chilling. I love it.
Okay, and then do you have any advice to like current lit students or like people who want to take lit in the future?
That's a great question, and it's gonna sound really lame when I say this, but just read more books. Whether it's short stories or poetry or any books of literary merit, so things that you would see in like the classic section in Barnes and Nobles, those are always really good to keep in your arsenal of literary works that you've read, and they'll help you a lot on the AP test.
Okay, and then, so you got a degree in English.
Yes, sir.
Like, why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because you can do so many things with English. You can work in communications, PR, advertising. You can do things like HR as well, work in business administration as a writer. Everything always goes back to writing, communications, rhetoric, understanding other people, their stories, their point of view. On all those skills that you learn in an English major are very applicable to everything you do in your everyday life.
Woo. And then, okay, this might sound hard.
Okay.
But what's your favorite weekend activity?
Favorite weekend activity? Sleeping in till like 9 a.m., 9:30.
Oh, you call that sleeping in?
Yeah. For me. Going to the farmer's market, either Orange Circle, Claremont Village, both of them have really good farmer's markets, and then going thrifting after. Perfect weekend.
Woo. Okay, so I'm not sure if a lot of students know this, but you were a Disney princess.
I currently am a Disney
princess. What made you do that?
I love singing and dancing and performing, and I grew up loving the princesses, and I get to work with all of my best friends and go bring magic to kids' lives like every single weekend. It's so much fun. Specifically, I love being Ariel.
Oh, I can see it.
Thank you. Little Mermaid action, we love.
Yes. All right, that's all the questions I have for
Beautiful.
you today.
Thank you so much for having me on the podcast, Eric.
No, thank you for coming.
Yes, it's so fun, and I love it. Again, your setup is so cute.
Thank you. Welcome to our podcast, Mr.
Thank
Bradford.
you, Eric. I appreciate it.
Welcome to
My first podcast in 15
Wow.
years of education. I finally made it.
See? We're all here one day. Alright, so I just have a few questions for you today.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
So, what are you looking forward to the most when teaching AV Hub or World History?
Well, they're both really different classes. I think what I enjoy the most about world history is the storytelling component to it. It's full of heroes and villains, tragedy and triumph. To be able to tell that story to students and hopefully kind of weave in some things that help them become better students and better prepared for classes later in high school and into college is what makes that class fun to teach. And then for AP Human Geography, a lot of the time I have freshmen taking their first AP course, so they come in, you could attest to this, being very intimidated, feeling overwhelmed, and then to kind of watch them as the year goes on, start to figure it out, kind of have that wherewithal, to have them kind of have that success on the AP exam, and then be ready to tackle future AP classes down the road. It's just a really kind of interesting experience to kind of ride that wave with them and coming to the end where they kind of realize that they can do it. So that's a little bit about AP classes.
Yeah, definitely felt that when I took Hug. But do you have any advice for incoming freshmen who want to take Hug, or like our current students?
Well, let me turn that around on you as a student who's taken Hug and gone on to take other AP classes. What do you think is the most kind of important trait to have or skill to develop?
Definitely like study habits was a big thing, and then like trying to not fall behind on work.
No, I'd say those are two of the big things. The first two that come to mind for me is the first is time management. Students are so busy outside of school, and it's awesome that you guys do like different sports and you're doing band and you do things like this with newspaper. It's amazing. So being able to find the time needed to be successful outside of class and be able to be prepared for quizzes and things like that, that is a huge component. And then the other one is like self-advocacy, especially again teaching freshmen in an AP class. As a lot of times it's the first time they've really had serious trials and tribulations where they've had an exam that they really struggled through. And a lot of times students can be embarrassed that first time that they have those struggles to ask for help. They almost want to like hide and pretend that it didn't happen. So the students who can kind of have that self-advocacy, reach out for help when they need it, kind of recognize that, you know, we're all in this together, right? The college board is the villain. They're the ones that we're trying to work together to defeat, and I'm here to help them with that. So the ones who kind of come in, ask for help, are usually the ones who start to kind of figure out the ways that work for them sooner, and that tends to be really beneficial.
I think that's like a running theme with all my AP teachers. They're all like, the college board's the evil one.
We won't say evil, but they're the final boss, right? That we want to defeat at the end of the school year.
All right, and then so you graduated from Long Beach State University with honors in both. What made you choose like early U.S. history and modern world history?
Honestly, they were just the classes that I had the most fun in high school. They were probably the classes that I had the teachers that I could relate to the best and who I just really enjoyed being in there, and I had success. And again, probably because I found it to be interesting. So when I started college, I was kind of undeclared, and I was taking business classes and history classes, and I started to realize that I was enjoying going to the history classes as much as you can enjoy going to class. And the business ones I was just really dreading. And so I was like, the great thing about college is you kind of get to pick the field that you're passionate about, and you get to explore those passions. So I kind of dove headfirst into history and really, really enjoyed it, and the rest is history. Pun definitely intended. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you usually make your lesson plans?
If I said ChatGPT, would I get in trouble?
I mean,
no. Usually what ends up happening actually is I have a really great department that I get to work with, especially the teachers who also teach world history, like Mr. Buchanan, Mrs. Stedman, and Mr. Doman. They're excellent teachers, and so we found that the best way for us to create lessons that are both, you know, strong in terms of rigor, but also engaging for students, or when we work together. So we collaborate a lot in our kind of staff meetings, and both through like Google Docs and email, and kind of getting together before and after school to create the lessons that we do. So hopefully we can create like really good, effective lessons while at the same time making them engaging. And then at the same time, like always reflecting, we'll always talk after a lesson as a team about like what went well, and then we kind of lean into that, into things that we could tell, we thought this was going to be good, and the students did not like it, so now we can kind of move away from that. So working as a team, as in, you know, most areas of life, allows us to create really effective lessons.
All right. And then, what's the most important thing in your daily routine?
Oh, the morning cup of coffee. You know, because when you sit down, you have that big, long to-do list at the beginning of the day, and you're like, there's no way I'm going to accomplish it. But take a deep breath, have a sip of coffee, it all starts to seem a little bit more manageable. Yeah, so that first cup of coffee grounds me in the morning. And then the second and maybe even the third cup, it only helps.
All right, so like, final question of the day. Like, when I had third period hug, and then I feel like usually when we walk in, the room smells like coffee. Do you
Delightful aroma. Yep.
Do you ever get the coffee shake?
No, but there's a certain type of coffee that actually Mrs. Stevenson gave me, and it's called Death Wish Coffee. It's very appropriately named, and the symbol is actually a skull and crossbones. And she gave it to me, and I tried it once, and it is rocket fuel. It is about as extreme a cup of coffee as you can have. So I save that one for special occasions, like the morning after back to school night or things like that. And it is a pick me up to say the least. So that's the one that actually kind of gets me the closest to feeling like whoa. But other than that, it's just delightful.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for your time
Thank you,
today.
Eric, I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was.
Hi guys, I'm Sophie and I'm here with...
Miss Phelps. Hi, everybody.
So can you give us a brief introduction of what you teach?
Absolutely. So my name is Miss Phelps, as we just said, and I teach Spanish 1 and 2 here at Yorba Linda High School.
Awesome. Let's start off with a general question. What inspired you to teach Spanish?
Yeah, so this story actually starts back when I was in kindergarten. And my first friend that I ever made, she spoke only Spanish and I spoke only English. And that didn't stop us from being friends. And I, was lucky enough to be friends with her from kindergarten up until when I graduated high school. And I got to spend a lot of time at her house as a child. And she kind of acted as a translator for her family to me. And so I knew from very early on that I wanted to learn Spanish. And the first chance that I ever had was when I got to 9th grade year of high school. And I sat down in my 9th grade year of Spanish class and I fell in love with it immediately. And I actually knew right then and there that I wanted to be a Spanish teacher someday. And I always look back on it and think it's kind of funny because, at that time I didn't speak Spanish yet. And so I had to completely learn a new language and then, of course, get a degree in it, which was a big task. But something that I really love about that story is that, I got to go back as a senior in high school taking AP Spanish to my friend's house and finally get to have a conversation with her family. And it's just an unforgettable experience that completely changed my life. And so I truly am, as a Spanish teacher, doing what I've always really wanted to do.
I imagine that was very rewarding.
It was, yeah.
So how did you spend this summer?
Yeah, so this summer I spent my time adventuring. I actually spent most of my life being afraid of airplanes. And so starting last summer, I thought that it was time for me to conquer that fear. And I went to Michigan last summer to visit some family friends. And then this past summer, I went to New Orleans, Louisiana, because a really close family friend of mine had a really great opportunity in a jazz band to learn from some of the, some prominent figures of jazz in New Orleans. And so that was a really cool experience, getting to go share that with them and just explore the city. It was a very cool thing.
Awesome. So this question's like a little fun one. I'm curious if you could take your students on any field trip, it could even be international, what would it be?
Oh, that's a fun one. I think the first thing that comes to mind would be, of course, to go to Mexico, maybe specifically La Ciudad de Mexico, or just anywhere really, but specifically during the time of the celebrations for Dia de los Muertos.
Yes.
I think just getting to see the cempasúchiles and all of the different beautiful elements of culture and the ofrendas would just be super rewarding for myself and for any of my students that I got to take with me.
Yes, I remember in Spanish we always would have a little history lesson and whatnot. So what do you prioritize most in a classroom setting?
Yeah, I think that answer would be comfortability. And one of the things that I tell my students at the start of every school year is that Spanish class is going to require them to be vulnerable. And learning a new language it's inevitable that you're going to make yourself feel silly sometimes or sound silly, and you're gonna feel a little bit embarrassed at times. And so I think that I make it a big priority in my classroom to be silly with my students myself, because if they can see their teacher being silly and fun, I think that it takes off some of that stress that really comes with learning a new language for the first time. And so I'd say that, inclusivity and just being fun is a really big priority in my classroom.
Yeah, I've heard from a lot of students who do struggle with public speaking in English and then taking that to another level. Taking that to another level and public speaking in Spanish and doing all sorts of cultural presentations is very socially demanding.
Absolutely.
And challenging. So I'm so thankful that you would take it another step to make your environment very comfortable and just fun.
Thank you.
For students to look forward to.
Yeah.
So this last question might be a little controversial, but can we have your teacher rival? Is it a language teacher or is it just any teacher on campus?
My ops. I've got
Yes.
lots of ops. I'm just kidding. No, my teacher rival, I'm going to say, is Mr. Walls.
Oh.
And that's because I'm purely intimidated by his height. And I'm 5'1", and that means that almost all of my students, despite me teaching mostly freshmen, are almost all taller than me.
Yeah, you and me both.
And so Mr. Walls being that tall, he's 10 feet tall for anyone who actually didn't know that. That's pretty intimidating, and so I'd have to say that he's my teacher rival. It's my op.
Is that it? Just his height?
That's it. Yeah, other than that, he's great. Yeah, but the height thing, that's really intimidating for me.
Yeah, like how tall would he have to be for him to leave the op, like the op range?
I think that if you're below 6 feet tall, you're out of the op range for me. But because he's 10 feet tall,
right,
he definitely
Taller than the school.
surpasses that. Yeah, he really is. It's kind of scary. No, but Mr. Walls is great. It's just the height thing, again, it's hard to get past. So.
All right, so that's the end of our segment with Mrs. Phelps. Thank you so much for answering questions about how you're settling into the school year and just your class norms. Now we're going to sign out and do the little YL.
Right.
So 3, 2, 1. Bye.
Okay, so we are here with Mr. Walls, who teaches AP Biology at Yorba Linda High School. How are you today?
Very good, thank you.
Okay, we'll start with our first question. What do you look forward to most when teaching AP Biology?
I like the students. The students come in, they know so much, they apply themselves so well. The students are definitely my favorite.
Okay, any advice for people who are looking forward to taking more AP Bio?
I would say talk to your friends. Find out how your friends like the class, and if they enjoyed it, you probably will too. If they were nervous about it, I'd say talk to another friend, but listen to them.
That's good advice. So you graduated from UCI with a degree in environmental biology, AP European history, and political science.
That's right.
So what made you choose biology over all the others?
When I was trying for a teaching career, they had a job for a environmental scientist, so I took that one.
Oh, okay.
So the job opportunity was there.
Perfect. What do you prioritize most in a classroom setting? Like how you treat your students? How do you stay organized?
I'm not very well organized at all, and so hopefully I treat my students well. So I think that's what I would prioritize.
Okay. What do you do to relax after a long week?
I like to play pickleball.
Really?
So I have fun with that, and play with my dog.
Cute. Okay, so last question before we get you out of here. How do you keep such a calm voice all the time?
I'm super boring, so my voice just doesn't modulate. I just don't have that ability. And also, like I said earlier, I have really good students, and so it's really hard to get really angry or really sad. They're really happy people, so I reflect that.
Have you ever lashed out, yelled? I don't think I've ever heard you raise your voice.
Oh, I raise my voice sometimes because people can't hear me. I'm like a little mouse. Can't hear that, so I yell loud. But it usually doesn't call for it.
Okay.
So we do all right.
Okay. Well, thank you for sitting down with us today.
I appreciate it. You're awful nice.
You too. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Hi, I'm Sophie, and I'm here with Mr. Goebel. And I'm going to be asking him some questions about the start of the school year and how he's settling in. So my first question is, how's it like teaching Calculus AB in addition to your other 2 classes?
It's been good so far. I've enjoyed having Calc AB back. It's kind of like a long-lost friend, because I haven't taught the class since actually my first year at Yorba Linda back in 2020. So, and of course we all know that was a bit of an unusual year, so it's fun teaching that class under a normal setting where you don't have to move quite as fast as BC. You have more time to really dive into the material rather than having to constantly rush to get to the next lesson.
Right, so what did you do over this summer?
So this last summer, I dipped my feet into the real estate pool. I bought a condo, which involved learning a lot about home ownership and that whole process, dealing with loans and banks, lots and lots of phone calls with realtors and mortgage groups. I definitely felt like very much a novice in all these things. Lots of learnings to do.
Well, at least we know that teachers also can continue learning as well.
Absolutely.
What are your overarching goals for this year?
Well, if I think about goals, I think you could say professional as well as personal. Professionally, always like to aim for that elusive 100% pass rate in the AP classes. Good for myself, good for the students as well. Outside of school, I do like to cycle. I'm still working my way towards 100-mile rides. They call those century rides. So maybe we'll get there by the end of this year. Maybe we won't, honestly. We'll get there one day.
All right. So what concept are you most excited to teach this year for all of your 3 classes? So just list one for each class.
One for each class. I would say, well, we'll start with geometry. I think the triangle congruence with the SAS and SSS and all the other 3-letter theorems out there. That one's always fun. We'll get to that by the end of first semester. And I'll just lump both the calculus classes together and say a little bit of U sub is always fun. I enjoy U substitution because a lot of times the most natural question students ask is, how do you know what to make U equal to? And a lot of times I don't have a good answer to that. It just comes from practice, and once you've done enough of them, I feel like people's eyes are just opened and all of a sudden they can see the U.
Yeah, I can speak from experience. So my last question is, can you give us something that's severely underrated?
Yeah, I don't know if some of you guys are quite ready for this yet, but not having an iPhone is severely underrated. We'll say specifically Google Pixels. Great phones, high quality, great value. You won't regret the switch.
So what's so great about a Google Pixel compared to the typical iPhone?
Well, I would say the price to just the overall value. So, for example, I bought my Google Pixel right now for $350 MSRP. That was full price, no rebates, no discounts, full priced. It is still working like a charm 5 years later.
Can we see this Google Pixel
Yeah,
for
sure,
chance?
sure. It works great.
Wow.
This has been dropped off of like a balcony with no damage. Battery life is still great. Camera is great. Why are people spending close to $1,000 on a brand new phone when you can find a phone that works fantastic for half that price easily?
That's great. Thanks for plugging Google Pixel. That's going to be it for this segment with Mr. Goebel. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer my questions.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, let's sign out. Bye. Hi, I'm Sophie, and I'm here interviewing Miss Waltemeyer today. So, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling rested and ready for the week, and I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. We're going to start off with like a general question. What are your goals for each class this year? Because we know you're teaching management and communications.
Yes, the Business Academy. For business communications, I'm really looking forward to getting some Microsoft proficiency in our curriculum. I'm looking forward to all the group projects we do, especially the business quantitative and qualitative project where students compete to get surveys and analyze data about different businesses and give a marketing strategy suggestion. So I'm excited about that and all the group dynamics for BizCom. For management, obviously, really excited to relaunch the Mustang Market, which I know you're involved in
Yes,
the
I
marketing
am.
department. So I'm excited about that, not only relaunching it, but actually making a formal business plan and doing some field trips and professional development along the way. So just looking forward to having good group dynamics with both of those classes and making it a year to remember.
We're glad you're settling in well. How did you spend your summer?
My summer, oh my gosh. So I went to Mexico. I went to Mexico literally right after graduation with my family. We went to Cancun and Playa del Carmen. We did zip lining, swimming. I worked for World of Dance in the summer, so it was really cool to get a little side gig going with some event management, event planning. And I was with FBLA at Nationals, and we had some boys place and qualify. Eric and Alex and Aiden and John and Jerry, all the cool FBLA kids. So it was a good time, very packed summer, but very refreshing.
That's awesome. Can I ask you what your holy grail for the school year is?
My holy grail for the school year is either probably my personal trainer, because I look forward to just like that kinesthetic reset in the gym, getting in all that gym time, and probably some protein as well. That's definitely with some coffee too. Can't forget
Yes.
coffee. Yes.
Do you have any general advice to YLHS students and perhaps the seniors?
I think for YLHS advice for seniors, be in the moment and be present. And I don't mean like YOLO. I mean like take every opportunity you can to put yourself in an environment that is maybe challenging, and college readiness, but also career readiness is important. So I would say try new things, try a sport, try everything that you want to before you leave high school, so that you can, have like that new fresh mindset for when you jump into your next chapter in life, whether it's college or career.
Because I know a lot of people, including myself, are stressing about the college application process right now.
Yeah. I think senior year is fun, but that first semester is always the most stressful because you're like having to think about your whole adult life.
Yeah.
And I want to encourage students to like, you don't have to have it all figured out, but like start to put yourself in situations where you like figure out your strengths and like figure out like, I don't know, like what brings you joy. So something that you can do without pay, like are usually like things that give you inklings toward what you could see yourself doing in the future. So
Yeah, it's definitely a time to find yourself.
yes.
So our last question is a little silly, but what's something that's severely underrated?
What is severely underrated? Okay, like this might sound cliche, but for me, like I think we need to make kindness cool. And I feel like being able to like just have a campus culture where we can like just embrace like one another's as Mustangs, we should bring that back. We should also not bring back skinny jeans because that was my era, and I actually kind of like the baggy pants look. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, every time I see skinny jeans, I'm a little taken aback.
Yeah, me
I'm a
too.
little repulsed in a way.
Oh yeah, I'm taken way back, and my calves thank me for not being suffocated. So.
Thank you, Ms. Waltemeyer, for joining us today.
You're welcome.
You gave some very insightful answers,
Yes.
and I'm very happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
Now that we got an inside of what the teacher's looking forward to, what are you guys looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to being able to leave during lunch this year because I'm a senior. That must be nice.
It must be nice.
Okay, I'm looking forward to the senior huzz and maybe getting 2 extra hours of sleep.
Okay.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Like he's gonna get any.
Okay. Let him man drink. Okay. But anyways, I'm excited about finishing APs and hopefully only taking like 1, 2 next year, so it should be fine.
Sounds like a fun year to me. Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited.
And if you guys want to join us, we'll be uploading a new episode every month, 2 if you're lucky, and each episode will be on a different topic.
Well, I hope you guys enjoy this episode and stay tuned for the next.
Have an amazing day or night wherever you are, and thank you for listening in.
Bye. See you next time.